surely any prophet who comes after him, old or new, means that he is no longer the last. The Muslim Ummah is waiting for a prophet. Muslims believe that the Holy Prophet Muhammad ﷺ is the Khatamun Nabiyyin. And many interpret this to mean that he was the last and final prophet to ever set foot on this earth. But on the other hand, Muslims also believe that Jesus ﷺ will return back onto this earth in the latter days. And Jesus, of course, was a prophet of God. So therefore, logically speaking, if Jesus comes back after the Holy Prophet ﷺ, doesn't that make Jesus the last and final prophet? And more importantly, doesn't this prove that the vast majority of the Muslim world who holds this belief is actually waiting for another prophet to come? Now, if we take a deep dive into this topic, the contradiction and disparity between these two viewpoints becomes very clear. So they say that Khatamun Nabiyyin means the last and final prophet whatsoever, meaning that no prophet of any kind can come after him. And to support this, they present the hadith, La Nabiyya Ba'di, where the Holy Prophet ﷺ himself said that there will be no prophet after me. So they take this verse and this hadith and they interpret them together to mean that the door of any kind of prophethood is now closed. But the reality is that this interpretation is extremely problematic. Why? Because it goes against a very fundamental belief of theirs, the return of Jesus. If the door of prophethood has been closed by the Holy Prophet ﷺ, then how can any prophet, old or new, come after him? And Jesus indeed was a prophet of God. The Islamic sources are crystal clear on this. The Holy Quran says, Rasulan ila Bani Israel, that he was a prophet sent to the Bani Israel. And Jesus himself said, Waja'alani Nabiyyan, that he has been made a prophet. Also, if we take a look at Sahih Muslim, one of the most authentic books of ahadith, the Holy Prophet ﷺ, whilst talking about the second coming of Jesus, he refers to him as a Nabiullah, a prophet of God. Not once, but repeatedly, 4 times in the same narration. So there's no escaping the fact that Jesus will be a prophet of God when he returns. And anyone who believes in his return, in actuality, is waiting for the advent of a prophet. Now, all of this being said, you might be wondering, how do they possibly reconcile such a blatant contradiction? Well, they resort to one of 2 options. Some say that Jesus was a prophet in the past, but when he returns, he won't be. So in essence, the status of prophethood will have been stripped away from him. Others say that, yes, he will be a prophet, but because he was an old prophet, before Prophet Muhammad, therefore his return doesn't break the finality of prophethood. Now, let's just analyze both scenarios. In the first case, to say that he was a prophet before, but not when he comes back, we have to really think for a second. Prophethood is the greatest blessing. It's the highest rank and status that Allah can bestow upon a person. If Allah himself made Jesus a prophet, then who has the right to take this away from him? The Holy Quran calls him a prophet, the Ahadith call him a prophet. So if he returns and he is no longer a prophet, then what do we do with those clear verses and the clear ahadith? Have they been abrogated? Of course not. And also Allah himself says that he never takes away a blessing from a person until and unless they do something to deserve it. The question is, what did Jesus do? What sin did he commit for prophethood to be stripped away from him? In the second scenario, to say that he was an old prophet, not a new one, so the finality doesn't break, this, quite frankly, is not logical. If the Holy Prophet ﷺ is categorically the last and final prophet, then surely any prophet who comes after him, old or new, means that he is no longer the last. And besides, who even made this distinction, that an old prophet can come, but not a new one? Therefore, the bottom line is this, that Muslims are waiting for the advent of a prophet after the Holy Prophet ﷺ. Ahmadiyya Muslims believe that this prophet could only come from within the ummah of the Holy Prophet ﷺ and not from outside. It can't be Jesus himself because we know from the Quran and the Ahadith that he died a natural death, just like every other human being and every other prophet. His second coming, therefore, must be metaphorical, and that it was, in the person of Hazrat Mirza Ghulam Ahmad alayhi salatu wasalam.